This house is not for you. It's the time for the next generation. That is why I sold this house to my eldest son and his wife.
The eldest son's wife says, "That's right. Give us a house and get the hell out." My husband is scoffing at me as old woman. My daughter-in-law is following him and saying, "Get out from the house." And my elderly son looked like an evil to me too. Hey, were you listening to me? This house is no longer yours. Pack your bag quickly. If not, my father will be even more mad. Whatever he says is very mean to me. Does he desperately want this house? I'll make their dream come true. Okay, I'm leaving as you wish. The three of them suddenly became silent when I expressed my dismay, and I get back inside the house to get my belongings. You can have the house, but even if you do, you never know how much trouble ahead of you, and you never expect that you will be the one who will regret. Hi, my name is Sophia. I am now a kimono dressing instructor. Because a friend introduced me a job to work in the kimono shop when I was 20 years old. I met my husband, Carter, through one of the mutual friends, and he is a pretty famous kimono instructor even now later. We got married at 24 and had a son the following year, and had our second child 3 years after that. After graduating from university, the second son got a job at a major corporation, and he got married 5 years later. On the other hand, the oldest son got married at the age of 40, but his personality stays the same, very self-depravity. His wife mainly earned money to support the family, while the oldest son stays at home and pretends to be a housewife. Our sons almost become independent, so we would enjoy our own lives. I thought that, but things aren't going so well. My family has quite many problems.
Hey, who told you to prepare this? How many times have I told you to drink coffee in the morning?
But I believe green tea is better for your health.
I prefer coffee to green. Prepare coffee in the morning. Don't you understand, do you?
My husband becomes enraged easily and lashes out like this. How much easier it would be if I could honestly say I don't want to live like this. How many times I have wished to flee and live apart from my husband in 40 years of marriage. But I have my reasons for not leaving here. Since he was unemployed, I was the one who earned income to support our family and built a new house by saving money little by little. If I left here, this house would have been my husband's. I really wanted to avoid that. This new house has full of my hopes and dreams. I had deep discussions with the contractors from the beginning of the construction stage, shaping my desire for the interior, exterior, and every other aspect of the house. My husband tried to intervene, but I didn't allow him to do so because I was paying for it. The new house was completed after about 6 months of hard work. Due to budget constraints, not all of my wishes were granted, but almost perfect. However, it cost more than I had anticipated. As a result, I had to take a larger mortgage loan than I planned, which I had underestimated. It's difficult for me to pay off a large loan due to my age, but it's nothing because it is for my dream house. The intercom rang when I was getting emotional. "Yes, a moment, please." "Hello." This is Emily,
who is Kaiden's wife. She is making money to support the family instead of lazy Kaiden. She appears to be a lovely woman, but she has an abrasive personality. She is obviously being aggressive, especially to me. Isn't Kaiden with you today? When I approach her in this manner, she always ignores me. Oh, Emily-san, welcome to my home. Please come in. This is my new home. Isn't it incredible, is it?
Truly amazing. I wish I could live in a house like this.
Emily, you're always welcome here. In fact, you can live with us in this house from today.
Oh my, father-in-law.
Something like this. She behaves like a spoiled child toward father-in-law very much. I'm curious how long they've been getting along so well. I feel disgusted by my husband's interactions with daughter-in-law. Hey, prepare tea and snacks right away. Don't be a jerk to Emily-chan. I did as I was told, serving tea and sweets to her. She began eating without saying anything to me. Normally, she should have said thank you or itadakimasu to me. But there's no point to expect such a word from her. She said, I am going back to only my husband, and left the house as soon as she finished having tea and sweets. Why she visited this house? I am tired of her attitude. Ever since, she more frequently comes to our house. At the beginning, she came over here only when my husband and I were home, or only once a week. But she gradually increased the number of her visits, and she comes here almost every day after 3 months. And she always comes here when I am not at home. I'm not sure why she comes here so often. Question remains in my mind. One day, I received a phone call. Hello, Mom. It's been a while. How have you been?
Harry, of course, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's Harry, my second son. Unlike my older son, Harry is hardworking and takes good care of his family, who I am proud of. He's busy with work these days, so I don't get to see him very often, but he calls every now and then. How are things going? How is the new house? It's very comfortable, but I have a bit of problem. Harry asked, Is it about Emily? How do you know? I asked him how he knew. He said, I don't have much time, so I'll explain about it briefly.
What? Is that true?
Yes, it is, because I heard it from my brother the other day when he was drunk. That story was hard for me to believe, but it made sense to me. Are you okay? Harry asked me, because I became silent. I'm fine. Thanks for telling me. It was a very useful story. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I have a favor to ask you, Harry. I need your assistance, I said. I decided to do something and asked for Harry's assistance. I started working for it next day. I did it after work and on my days off, so nobody would notice. It has been a few days past since then.
Hello.
I was a little sarcastic to her, who had come to our house as a matter of course. It's unusual for you to come here when I'm home. However, she did not respond to my words at all. She took off her shoes at the entrance and came into the house without saying anything. When I was giving her an icy look from the back, I heard someone's voice. Oh well, this is a really nice house.
Kaiden, what a surprise!
My oldest son also came over today. He behaved like his wife,
He took off his shoes at the entrance and came into the house without a word to me. My husband then came out from the living room as if he had been expecting two of them.
I've been waiting for you two. Hey, come this way.
They all moved to the living room as if I had not existed.
This is an open kitchen, so you can see the living room from here.
This is wonderful. I'd love to see Emily cooking in this kitchen. Bathroom and toilet are the next. I could overhear my husband's voice from back of the house that it seemed like he was showing around our house. After finished showing the first floor,
this way,
they went to the second floor. Harry was right. I was secretly following them, and I heard suspicious words coming from the bedroom.
This room has a nice view and size is big enough, right? Of course, there is a toilet on the second floor and an extra room over there too.
Wow, this is a fantastic house. When can we move in? I was skeptical at first, but my doubts changed into a conviction when I saw three of them closely. They returned to the living room with happiness after they had finished looking around the house. As soon as they came back to the living room, my husband complained.
What are you doing?
You are very impolite. Bring some tea and snacks here. They came from far away. That's okay, Daddy. We care about elderly, so take it easy.
I agree. It is usual to act slower once people get older. You should be nicer to her because you two are a married couple.
I have so many things I want to say, but I'll be patient at this moment. I prepared some tea and snacks to them as I was told. But he is dissatisfied, and my son and his wife did not say anything. I don't think they know what I'm thinking or what I'm dreaming now. Three of them enjoy conversation in front of me and are giving me a dry look. My eldest son and his wife looked around every corner of the house, following with my husband, and they went back their home with excitement. A few days later, when I got home from work, I saw a truck in front of our house. My husband was talking to someone by the side of the truck. I got closer to see what was going on and noticed that the truck was labeled Scott the Moving Center. Oh, I see. I glanced at him for a second, and then he was getting inside the house with a mover. On top of that, my oldest son and his wife came to join him behind my back, as if they would have waited for the right moment. Well, it is ready, right? Yes, that's right. As soon as they finished talking, they walked right into the house without even looking at me. I stood outside the house and observed everyone. They discussed what to do next for half an hour and came out from the house with a mover. They all looked exultant. All of them were seeing off and bowing to the moving company. After everything was done, three of them were looking at me at the same time with a grim smile. My husband said,
I'd like to talk to you. Okay, don't say anything and say yes to my question. You don't have the right to refuse anyway.
The oldest son and his wife were listening to our conversation beside me and were grinning. The husband then takes a deep breath and said,
You are too old for this house. It's time for younger generation. Thus, I sold this house to my son and his wife.
Following the husband's words, daughter-in-law said, "That's right. Get out from this house quickly." My husband is calling me an old woman, and she agrees with his opinion. And she scoffs at me and is telling me to leave this house immediately. Additionally, my eldest son is standing behind them and accepts it. Their face seemed like an evil, not human beings. "Hey, did you hear what I said? This house is no longer yours. It's better for you to leave this house immediately. If not, your husband will get full of rage." Whatever they say is very nasty to me, and I cannot believe they are my family. Do they really want this house so badly? Sure, I'll let them give whatever they want. I understand. I'll leave here as you wish. What I said made them fall silent involuntarily. I ignored 3 of them and went inside the house to get my belongings. "I'll give you this house." "You can have the house, but even if you do, you never know how much trouble ahead of you. And you never expect that you will be the one who will regret. I still have feeling for this house because of all my big efforts, but it doesn't matter now. I just get out of this house quickly." When I am carrying my belongings away, expression on their face is unusual. I have never seen such a face before. I suppose they are relieved because I'm away. "But it's only for now. Be ready," I muttered quietly. I left the house and went to a specific place. "Hello. Thank you in advance." "I've been waiting for you, Mother." "I'm sorry you had a difficult time, Mother." "I will take your luggage." The place where I was going is my second son's house. The reason I moved here is Harry called me a while ago. Harry informed me that my husband was about to sell our new home to our eldest son and his wife. So I began planning for that day, which I had to move out while I was keeping in touch with Harry. He asked me to live together. That is why I am here today. Actually, there's something that I haven't told you yet. The second son suddenly had mysterious facial expression and spoke up unexpectedly. "In fact, my father and Emily are having an affair." "What the hell?" The second son told me that my husband and daughter-in-law were having an affair. When I'm looking back, there are certainly many suspicious things about those 2. But is it true? Then my second son took out his phone and showed me a picture. It clearly showed my husband and daughter-in-law having an affair. According to the second son, my husband started seeing her shortly after the new house was built. Oh, probably at that time. Presumably, Dad will ask you for divorce in a few days. I would not be in a normal state of mind if I knew my father was having an affair with my brother's wife. But he talks calmly. So I believe you should devise a plan for that. I told something to him. He looked surprised by me and said, "I see, that will work." A few days later, I received a call from my husband as my second son expected. "I have decided to divorce you. Sign on the divorce paper today." "Sure, I'll be there later on." Everything was arranged. One thing that remained was a direct confrontation with those 3. I texted my second son right away, and all he said was, "Good luck." My husband was waiting for me
in the front entrance when I arrived. He came close to me quickly and gave me the divorce paper immediately, like asking me to sign my name on it right now. I fed up with his behavior, but I signed my name on it. He became overjoyed and immediately went to the city office to submit the paperwork. As a result, I was legally granted the divorce from my husband. We decided to talk with a divorce lawyer about what happens with the division of property between us later, so we ended our conversation there. When I returned home and told my stories to second son about the divorce, he said, "So all we can do now is to relax and wait." 2 months had passed since I had left the new house. I received a phone call from my eldest son. I never knew the monthly loan payment is 180,000 yen. He got panicked, but I calmly responded to him, "What? I was the one who paid back 180,000 yen every month. Why should I pay back that loan? I am not there anymore, so my estate, of course, will be transferred to you, right?" He could not hear what I was explaining. All he said was, "Please do something for me. You're an old man, so you have to take care of yourself." That was all I told him. I hung up the phone and immediately deleted my oldest son's number. My second son was standing beside me and burst out laughing. His laughter was very infectious, so I also burst out laughing. The next day, when I got home from work, I found the three of them asking for money to my second son. "Please, lend me money. I can't make a living without financial help." "Please, Harry, help us." "Harry, please help me. Nobody told us about 180,000 yen monthly loan." They were all kneeled on the floor side by side in the living room. I let out a long sigh of despair. Then my ex-husband noticed me and said, "Why are you here?" "I have been living with Harry and his family since I left that house." My ex-husband got furious because he did not know about it. But I cut him off, and it's none of your business. Then he said, "That is more important. When can I receive money from the division of property?" "Oh no, he doesn't know anything." "Well, we don't have any money." "Of course you do. When you divorce, you are supposed to share the division of property." "Yeah, usually, but only if you own the property. We do not have any properties." Even after all of this, my ex-husband didn't seem to understand what I was saying. I carefully explained to my ex-husband again. "Okay, you've been unemployed for a long time, and I paid for all of our living expenses as well as the mortgage loan for the new house. I could manage to cover only for those necessities, but I could not save any money because you spent it all on yourself." After he got to know the truth, he was shocked. I gave him the final word. "As you are expecting, I am going to ask you for alimony. Be prepared." "What? Alimony?" He was shocked. I kept talking. "You know, you are having an affair with Emily, aren't you? I have known it." Our second son saw it and even took pictures for an evidence. The second son took his phone out and showed some picture of suspicious infidelities. My husband seemed lost and collapsed. The daughter-in-law got devastated and began crying as soon as she saw pictures. The oldest son stayed by her side, but started shivering and got extremely mad. She was crying a lot more. Madman and crying woman. My ex-husband could not move at all. It was a funny situation. My second son and his wife are just amazed by the picture of hell that was happened at their house. Then, the second son forcibly threw the three outside and reported to the police that someone was making a fuss in front of the house. This may be because the situation was troublesome. 10 minutes later, the police rushed to the house and caught the oldest son who was being violent. Then, eventually, the police arrested the eldest son's wife, who was crying and mumbling something, and the ex-husband, who was stunned nearby. 3 of them were taken to the police station. After that, the 3 were released from the police and decided to live in 1-bedroom apartment, including 6 tatami mats. However, the oldest son got crazy after learning about their affair. He became verbally abusive to both all the time, and my ex-husband got mentally ill due to his abusive language and own guilt, unable to work anymore. And the eldest son's wife worked hard for both, her husband and my ex-husband, from the early morning until late at night. What's more, she seems to be having a hard life every day because she has to pay alimony to me too. By the way, the new house has been sold. Well, they could not make a monthly payment, so it's the only way. On the other hand, I severed ties with my oldest son, his wife, and my ex-husband. I will never see with those 3 again. Since then, my job as a kimono dresser has gone smoothly, and now I have my own store. And I'm going to build my own house again. After that, I'm thinking to ask my second son and his wife to live together. Next time for sure, 3 of us as family will have a happy life.